Hello and welcome to Holtonsfixit101. Today we are talking Triton routers. Welcome back. Now, today, as I said, we're talking about the Triton routers. Now I have two of their routers here. This is the TRA001. I think I'll find the differences. It is a bit of a beast. It is the 2400 watt router. It's the largest that Triton do in their range. This one here is the MOF001 watt router. There is some slight differences between the two, and I'll go over those within this video and show you the differences. There are subtle differences between the two of them, even though they do look virtually the same, apart from the orange and the silvery grey base that they have. Now, starting off with the big one, the beast, like I said, it is 2400 watts, and it is very, very good for table use because of the actual wattage and everything else that's within it. It is a dual purpose router, meaning that you can use it handheld or you can use it purposely to put in your router table. It has a ratcheting system, exactly the same as its little brother, and it plunges, as well as it has the switch on the side. You press the switch in and you can use a ratchet switch system that's on the side of the handle as well. It has all the usual bells and whistles which you would expect from Triton. They are very, very good in manufacturing their stuff. A little bit plasticky for my taste, but it does what it does. They're both variable speed on the top here, even though they're in slightly different positions. Obviously they have the locking mechanism here for your plunge here as well. The bases are slightly bigger than what it is on his little brother. It is quite significantly bigger actually. It has the usual turret system on the bottom here, and I'll see if I can bring that up for you so you can see that. The usual turret system for getting your plunge correct and everything else. But it basically is the same, but it is the much bigger router. Now, it does come with a significantly load of different collets, but unfortunately in this instance it comes with a 1/2 inch collet, a 12, and it comes with an 8mm collet. Sorry, but that's not to say that you can't go out and buy them from a third party or from Triton's website and obtain those collets that you need. But this is an absolute, like I say, it's an absolute beast, and if I was ever build another router table, I certainly would be trying to put one of these in my router table because it is brilliant. It comes with a handle, or winding handle, as you can see, so you can actually wind it up from above the table. And the good thing about this is that when it does plunge through, it will actually plunge through the bottom of the base, so you can actually use the collets and do the collets up above the table as well. And when it does actually plunge the full depth, it has a locking mechanism on there that does actually lock off the collet as well, or the spindle lock, if you want to call it. It does actually lock that off at the same time, so you don't have to worry about trying to, do I need to get my hand underneath to flick a switch, or putting an extra spanner on the top like you do with some of the American ones. You have 2 spanners to do them up. There's none of that, just one spanner. You can hold on to your bit way you're doing it up, which is a very, very good system to actually employ. And I'm glad that Triton have actually come up with that system. The switch on the side is on the side here. You push like, whether you can see that on the camera, but you push that back there, and it allows you to put the switch on. It is a positive lock switch. It's none of this on the handles. You've got to squeeze it in, and as soon as you let it go, it's none of that. It is what it is. It comes with a cap here, so you can undo the screw, take the cap off, and it does release the springs, so this, you don't have this sort of effort and everything else underneath your table. And if you ever want to put the springs back in, you can put the spring back in, put the cap back on, off you go. That's basically with this unit. It is very, very big because of the size of the motor, as being 2400 watt. You know, and it does come with a very big opening in the bottom, so you can put big panel raising bits and stuff like that in it. And I'm sure with the wattage that this machine has got, it will quite happily plough through anything that you've got, any stock, any wood, whatever that you've got, and I'm sure it will do that with ease, without even, you know, breaking a sweat, basically. Now, moving on to his smaller brother, it comes with basically the same as what this is. And to look, if you had a quick glance at it, you think, oh my god, this is the same router but just smaller. But there are subtle differences between the big brother and the little brother. Is the way that the cord comes off here. This one comes straight at the top. This one comes off at an angle. The locking on mechanism for the post is actually on the back of this router. Going into the turret on there is actually on the back of this one, and this one's on the front. Obviously there's going to be subtle differences because of the size of the motor. Obviously the whole machine is slightly smaller, the base is slightly smaller, and everything else. This one does actually come with quite a comprehensive takeoff for extraction and everything else. You can see just see there. And it comes with all the usual collets. It comes with this particular one comes with a 1/2 inch collet and a 1/4 inch collet as well. There is not much difference in it. It is a dual purpose router, same as what this one is, but this one I feel that you wouldn't want to go and put big panel raising bits in it. It probably could take it, but I wouldn't want to explore that because I wouldn't feel that it had enough power in the actual router to handle a big panel raising bit. But having said that, it is a dual purpose router that you can actually mount in a table exactly the same as what you would this one. Being 1400 watts, it is a slightly underpowered compared to this one, 1000 watts being the difference. But you can take the springs out of here by releasing this cap on the top, exactly the same as what you can here, so it does actually take out the springs in the plunge mechanism. Now it has the same ratcheting system that's on here. You'll be able to push that button that's in the centre of the handle there, you push it in like that, and you can use the same ratcheting system to actually let the router go up and down. And it has this fine adjuster just there, so you can actually adjust where you need to adjust, so you can get it really precise when you got a bit in a collet. You can get it exactly precise where you want to have it. But that ratcheting system only works, well, that fine adjuster, sorry, only works when you've got the ratchet engaged. It will not work in the plunge mechanism. The plunge is all on its own. But that's it, my friends. The only other thing I could say is that both of these routers, they come with quite a comprehensive long lead on the end of it, so there's no problem with, you know, thinking to yourself, oh god, this lead is so short, because that's the worst thing you can have with with, which I found, a lot of people might think differently, that having a long lead on a tool is a must, because if you want to go, you know, all the way up, say like a great big sheet of a board or long piece of wood or whatever, the last thing you want to be doing is dragging an extension lead along with you to do that. You know, you want to have that freedom, and the cord on here gives you that freedom. And this one's exactly the same. It comes with a very, very long comprehensive lead, so you'll be able to do that, which I think is a must on any tool, and I'm glad that Triton have taken that on board and given us the long lead that we need to have on these tools. As for accessories and everything else, this one comes with the handle as well, so you get to wind it up above the table, exactly the same as what this one does. When you plunge it fully, it actually locks off the collet and everything else, and gives you a spindle lock, so you'll be able to do the collet up. It comes with all the different spanners for both of these. This one's unfortunately is a pressed steel one, but this one is actually a forged steel one that came with here. They're both the same size actually in the opening of the spanner, but it's just the way they were made. The collets that you get, they're full collets. You take the whole thing back out and put the next size down straight in there. There's none of this fiddling around trying to take the insert out over the collet piece yourself. None of that. Apart from that, they're virtually the same, but there are subtle differences. Apart from the actual size of the motors, there are subtle differences in these machines, and that's all I can say about them, really. They are very, very good. I've used them several times now, and to be honest with you, I've done grooves and everything else with this one, or dados if you're an American, with this one. This one I've done a few grooves and everything else, and it's ploughed through just about anything that I can throw at it, and you would expect that with that 2400 motor. And this one with a 1400 even ploughs through grooves or dados if you really want. You know, it does it with ease, and that's what they built into it. They're both electronic control with the variable speed on the top, which are shown here. This one's going around that way. This one's going around that way, but that's another subtle difference, the way that they're all set up. But they're both electronic control, meaning that they be able to, if they find it when they go under load, they gives a little bit more juice to the motor, and you can carry on doing whatever you're doing. But there we are, my friends. Both the Triton routers. There is another router that Triton actually make, is the little brother on from here, is the baby brother if you really want it. But I don't have that router because I have other routers anyway, so I don't need the smaller one from this. But the smaller one is a plunge only router from what I've seen from the websites and other reviews that I've actually seen on it. It's only plunge only. You don't get doesn't come with the ratcheting system. It doesn't come with you can't mount it in a table. So that's the only subtle differences I can find with that. I don't have one because I don't feel the need that I need to have one, because I have other routers as well. You can see those in a previous video that I've done, and I'll put a link in the description to the previous video for that. So there we are, Triton routers. Now, if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on the usual social media platforms. There's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. So there we go, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that bell icon. Click on that because it gives you notifications when I upload the next video. And I will see you next time. Thank you.